Hello and welcome, David Baker. Welcome to the Wisdom for Life podcast. Today is one of the short ones, and so I want to give you a thought and a truth. I think it would be a great encouragement and a help to you. But boys and girls, I'd like to tell you a story first. Are you ready? Okay. I want to tell you a story about a piece of pottery. Now, I am not a pottery expert. If you are, there will probably be some things that aren't exactly right. So give me some grace with it. But follow the story. Here's someone who wanted to make the best piece of pottery ever. They wanted to make, ready? A masterpiece. A masterpiece. So they started off with the best clay ever. No miry clay, no mixture of clay and mud and dirt. The best clay you could find. Then the best working on it, making sure that there's no rock, no piece of sand, no impurity in it at all. Kneading it, making it moldable to be able to work in, and then putting it on the wheel. Putting it on the wheel, just the right amount of water, just the right amount of pressure, just the right amount of smoothing to make it just amazing. Molding it, shaping it, creating it, then putting it in the kiln. Perfect temperature, perfect amount of time, perfect cool down. Everything was amazing to make sure that it took that heat and set in, and heating it perfectly, then finishing it, and finish it. Any smoothness that needed to sand or to paint, and then polishing it, and got done. Whew, this most amazing blue turquoise pottery that was just amazing. The best, the prettiest. It was exquisite, great craftsmanship. And then, on purpose, the one who just made the pottery takes it and breaks it. What? And breaks it. Breaks it into pieces. Why? Why would anyone do that? How come? His goal wasn't to make a great piece of pottery, but a masterpiece. In Jeremiah chapter 18, God comes to Jeremiah and talks to him about Israel and saying that he told Jeremiah to go down to the potter's house and watch what he does. He makes a vessel of clay, and if it's marred, he makes it again. God told him, he said, look, I want to do the same with Israel. It's marred. I'm going to remake it. And God wants to do the same with us. God wants to take the marring or the impurities or the things that are not good and right in our life, and God wants to take them out, and God wants to use them. And so God wants to make out of us a masterpiece. Well, what does that have to do with broken pieces of pottery or china? Because that's what it takes to make a masterpiece. And I'm sure I'm not pronouncing this right. I'm a little rusty on my Japanese. But do you know what kintsugi is? Okay, kintsugi. Do you know what that is? Um, Interesting. It is repairing broken pottery, transforming it into a new work of art with gold, the traditional metal used. Its technique derived from the words kin, means golden, and tsugi means joinery. Translated, it means golden repair. So the broken pottery is put together with liquid melted gold. And it turns it into something that's beautiful, unique, exquisite, gorgeous. What a masterpiece. The history of it dates back to the 15th century. Shogun had his favorite Chinese tea bowl. He broke it, sent it back to China for repair. It was returned fixed, but bound with ugly metal staples that inspired him to find a better way to be able to repair something like that. And kintsugi was born. Hey, you know what God wants to do? God wants to make you into a masterpiece. But to do that, he has to break us. That doesn't sound like fun. It's not. Same thing the military does. They have to make a civilian into a soldier. They're two totally different people. When basic training is done right, 8 weeks later, that civilian comes out not as a civilian anymore. He is a soldier, and he's different. He's different. He changed. And what do? They break them. They take their name away, their identity, their hair, their clothes. I was David my whole life, and I'm not David anymore. Nobody called me David. Nobody even knew I was David. It was Baker. Or they shortened it. That was too long. Bake. Hey, Bake, come here. Hey, Bake, give me 20. What? Why? They took all that away from you to make you in the image of the soldier that they wanted you to become. God does the same thing. How does God do it? A few things. God uses pressure. To get olive oil, to get grapes, juice out of grapes. How do they do that? Pressure. An olive press, a wine press. How do you get diamonds? Pressure and heat. That's what God does to us. God puts the pressure and the heat on us to make something great, a masterpiece. God will break us with pressure so we can become what God wants us to be. God will use patience, time. There are some things that are only done with time. You can't rush it. Okay? Take a recipe, needs to rise before you bake it. Rush it, what happens? Won't come out right. Take some meat, you're going to smoke it. Oh, yeah, just turn it up real high and cook it fast. Sorry, doesn't work that way. You can't rush it. There's some things that only take time. And that's the same thing that God has here. Patience. Tribulation worketh patience. God will allow the testing and trials to work patience in our life. Don't pray for patience, because you'll get tribulation. That's so selfish. The patience, tribulation worketh patience. And patience, experience, and experience, hope. And hope that maketh not ashamed. We need hope. What does it come from? Tribulation and patience. Okay? That's what it comes from. And that's okay. And then how else does God break us? With pain. With pain. Pain, broken hearts. Pain, broken bodies. Pain, even broken reputations. God, Jesus, he said, this is my body, which is what? Broken for you. This is broken for you. Made himself of no reputation. Jesus' reputation was broken. And so was his body. And at the end, even his heart. At the end, even his heart. What a big deal that is. So this breaking, if you ever want to be used in a big way by God, I'm sorry, it's going to take a breaking. Job, broken. David, broken. Joseph, broken. Samuel, broken. Moses, broken. Paul, broken. Peter, broken. Jesus, broken. Go through anyone used in the Bible or in life in a great way. You'll find a time in their life when they were broken. So what do? We need to become broken before God. Humble, broken, submissive. Let God have his work and his way in our life. So God can use us in a great way. Can we break ourselves? Yeah. And that's just very simply humbling ourselves, surrendering to God. In teaching about this kintsugi, they said, if you don't have a broken pottery, then get some pottery and put it in a paper bag and then slightly tap it with a hammer until it's broken. So they have you break your vessel so you can repair it and make it more beautiful. Yeah, we can do that just by humbling ourselves, being humble, surrendering to God, and letting God lift us up. Good thought. I hope you take some time with that and realize that for us to be great, for us to be the masterpiece, God then is going to have to break us. Hey, God bless you and have a great day.